Imagine wielding a sword with such mastery that your name echoes through centuries. This isn't fantasy. This is Miyamoto Musashi, Japan's legendary swordsman. But why should you care about a 400-year-old samurai? Because Musashi's journey from brash fighter to philosophical master holds lessons that can transform your life today. Ready to uncover samurai secrets for modern success? Let's dive into the extraordinary world of Miyamoto Musashi and discover how ancient wisdom can give you an edge in our modern battles. Early life and background. Picture yourself in feudal Japan, a land of samurai, where the clash of steel and the code of Bushido shape every aspect of life. It's 1584, and in the village of Miyamoto in Mimasaka province, a legend is born. A boy named Benosuke enters the world, destined to become the iconic swordsman we know as Miyamoto Musashi. Musashi's childhood was far from easy. Imagine losing your mother at a tender age, with a father who's more interested in swordsmanship than parenting. This was Musashi's reality. His father, Shinmen Munisai, was a renowned martial artist, but their relationship was complex and distant. At just 7 years old, young Benosuke found himself sent to live with an uncle in a Buddhist temple. Picture this young boy, surrounded by ancient texts and disciplined monks, already beginning to forge the mind of a warrior philosopher. It was here, amidst the quiet contemplation and rigorous study, that the seeds of Musashi's unique approach to combat and life were planted. But life in feudal Japan was harsh, especially for a child with Musashi's background. He had to grow up fast, learning self-reliance and developing a fierce determination that would serve him well in the years to come. Imagine a young boy practicing sword techniques alone in the temple courtyard, driven by a burning desire to surpass his father and make a name for himself. As Musashi grew, so did his reputation. By his early teens, he was already known for his exceptional skill with a sword. But it wasn't just his physical prowess that set him apart. Even at this young age, Musashi was developing the strategic mind that would later make him unbeatable. Consider for a moment, how did Musashi's challenging childhood shape him into the legendary figure he became? What can we learn from his early experiences about turning adversity into strength? Perhaps like Musashi, we too can use our early challenges as a forge to temper our spirits and sharpen our skills. As we close this chapter of Musashi's early life, we see a young man on the cusp of greatness, ready to step into the world of duels and battles that would cement his legendary status. But the question remains, how did this young, untested warrior transform into Japan's most revered swordsman? Rise to fame as a swordsman. Imagine yourself as a 13-year-old Musashi, heart-pounding, hands gripping your sword tightly as you face your first real opponent. This isn't practice anymore. This is life or death. The year is 1597, and young Musashi is about to engage in his first duel against Arima Kihei, a skilled warrior from the Shinto-ryu school of swordsmanship. Picture the scene. A crowd gathered, whispers of doubt about this young upstart. But Musashi isn't fazed. With a combination of raw talent, innovative thinking, and sheer audacity, he defeats Kihei, striking him down with a single blow from a wooden staff. This victory isn't just a win, it's the birth of a legend. From this moment, Musashi's life becomes a whirlwind of duels and battles. He embarks on a warrior's pilgrimage, a Musha Shugyo, traveling across Japan to test his skills against worthy opponents. Imagine a young man, barely more than a boy, roaming the rugged landscape of feudal Japan, seeking out challenges and honing his craft. But Musashi isn't content with just winning. He wants to revolutionize the very art of swordsmanship. He begins to develop his unique style, one that will eventually become the famous Niten Ichi Ryu, or Two Heavens is One school. Picture Musashi, practicing in secluded forests and mountain retreats, experimenting with dual-wielding techniques that would have seemed outlandish to traditional samurai. As his reputation grows, so do the challenges. Musashi faces off against members of the renowned Yoshioka school in a series of duels that would cement his status as Japan's premier swordsman. Imagine the tension as Musashi, outnumbered and ambushed, faces dozens of Yoshioka swordsmen. Using his wits as much as his sword skills, he emerges victorious, leaving a trail of defeated opponents and astonished witnesses. But it's not just his skill with a blade that sets Musashi apart. He begins to develop a reputation for his unorthodox tactics. He shows up late to duels, throws his opponents off balance with unexpected moves, and even uses psychological warfare. Picture a duel where Musashi arrives disheveled, wielding a wooden sword against his opponent's steel. This was Musashi's strategy, winning the battle in the mind before it even began on the field. As we follow Musashi's journey, we see a man who's not content with being just another skilled swordsman. He's constantly pushing boundaries, challenging conventions, and seeking to understand the deeper principles behind combat and strategy. What can we learn from Musashi's rise to fame? Perhaps it's the importance of not just practicing our skills, but revolutionizing them. Or maybe it's about the power of unconventional thinking and overcoming challenges. As you reflect on your own life, ask yourself, where can you apply Musashi's innovative spirit to stand out in your field? As Musashi's reputation reaches its peak, he's about to face his most famous duel, a confrontation that will echo through the ages. But that's a story for our next segment. Notable duels and battles, the clash of steel, the tension in the air, the fate of two warriors hanging in the balance. This was the world Musashi thrived in. Among his many legendary encounters, one stands out as the pinnacle of his dueling career, the fateful meeting with Sasaki Kojiro on Gunryu Island. Dawn breaks over the remote beach of Funajima, now known as Ganryu Island. The year is 1612, and two of Japan's greatest swordsmen are about to face off in a duel that will be remembered for centuries. Sasaki Kojiro, known for his swallow cut technique, stands ready with his nodachi, a sword renowned for its extraordinary length. But where is Musashi? True to form, he arrives late, a tactic designed to unsettle his opponent. As he approaches, onlookers are baffled. Instead of his usual two swords, Musashi wields a wooden weapon he carved from an oar on the boat ride over. This is Musashi at his most cunning, his most unconventional. The duel itself is brief, but decisive. With a single, powerful strike, Musashi defeats Kojiro, cementing his status as Japan's greatest swordsman. But this victory isn't just about physical prowess. It's a triumph of strategy, psychology, and adaptability. While one-on-one duels formed the cornerstone of Musashi's legend, he also proved his mettle in larger conflicts. Consider the siege of Osaka in 1614, where Musashi fought on the side of the Tokugawa shogunate. Here he demonstrated that his strategic thinking could be applied not just to individual combat, but to the chaos of full-scale battle. These experiences shaped Musashi's understanding of conflict on a grander scale. He began to see parallels between the dynamics of a duel and the ebb and flow of larger confrontations. This broader perspective would later inform his writings on strategy and philosophy. But Musashi's approach to combat wasn't just about winning, it was about understanding. Each duel, each battle, was an opportunity to refine his technique, to delve deeper into the principles underlying conflict and resolution. He treated every encounter as a lesson, continuously evolving his approach. As we reflect on Musashi's most notable conflicts, we're compelled to consider our own challenges. How can we approach our personal and professional duels with the same level of strategic thinking? What can we learn from Musashi's ability to adapt his tactics to each unique situation? The legacy of these battles extends far beyond the immediate outcomes. They serve as object lessons in strategy, psychology, and the art of overcoming seemingly insurmountable odds. Musashi's experiences on the battlefield would later crystallize into a philosophy that transcends combat, offering insights applicable to all aspects of life. As Musashi's reputation as an undefeated swordsman grew, so did his understanding of the deeper principles underlying his success. This evolving philosophy would lead him to develop a unique fighting style, revolutionizing the art of swordsmanship in Japan. Development of unique fighting style. In the world of traditional Japanese swordsmanship, conformity was the norm. But Musashi was about to shatter conventions, forging a path uniquely his own. At the heart of Musashi's revolutionary approach was his dual sword technique, known as Niten Ichi Ryu, or two heavens as one style. Envision the shock of his opponents when Musashi drew not one, but two swords. This wasn't mere showmanship. It was a calculated strategy that gave him a distinct advantage in combat. Musashi's dual sword style wasn't born overnight. It was the result of years of experimentation, countless battles, and deep reflection on the nature of combat. He realized that by wielding two swords, he could attack and defend simultaneously, keeping his opponents constantly off balance. But Musashi's innovation didn't stop at dual wielding. He believed in mastering all weapons, famously stating, "You can win with a long weapon, and yet you can also win with a short weapon." In short, the way of the Ichi school is the spirit of winning, whatever the weapon and whatever its size. This philosophy led Musashi to develop proficiency with an array of weapons, from the long odachi sword to the short wakizashi. He even mastered improvised weapons, as demonstrated in his duel with Sasaki Kojiro, where he used a wooden sword carved from an oar. Musashi's style wasn't just about physical technique. It was deeply rooted in strategy and psychology. He understood that true mastery came not just from physical skill, but from reading opponents, controlling the flow of battle, and maintaining absolute focus. One of Musashi's key insights was the importance of rhythm in combat. He observed that all actions, all techniques, had their own rhythm. By understanding and manipulating these rhythms, he could control the pace of a duel, throwing opponents off their game. Another cornerstone of Musashi's style was his emphasis on practical effectiveness over flashy techniques. In an era where many schools of swordsmanship prized complex, visually impressive movements, Musashi advocated for simplicity and directness. His techniques were designed to end fights quickly and decisively. Musashi's approach to training was equally unconventional. While many swordsmen of his time focused solely on technical drills, Musashi believed in a holistic approach. He practiced calligraphy and painting, seeing these arts as ways to refine his focus and control, skills that directly translated to swordsmanship. As we examine Musashi's unique fighting style, we're compelled to consider our own approaches to challenges. How can we, like Musashi, think outside the box to gain an advantage? Where in our lives can we apply his principle of mastering multiple skills? Musashi's revolutionary approach to swordsmanship wasn't just about winning duels. It was a reflection of a deeper philosophy, a way of approaching life itself. This philosophy would eventually be distilled into his famous written work, a topic we'll explore in our next section. Philosophy and Writings, the Book of Five Rings. As Musashi entered his later years, his focus shifted from the physical realm of swordsmanship to the intellectual arena of strategy and philosophy. The culmination of his life's experiences and insights would be distilled into his magnum opus, the Book of Five Rings. Picture an aging warrior, battle-scarred and wise, retreating to a cave in his final years. Here, Musashi poured his accumulated wisdom onto paper, creating a work that would influence generations to come. Completed in 1645, just weeks before his death, the Book of Five Rings is far more than a mere manual of swordsmanship. The text is divided into 5 scrolls, each named after an element: earth, water, fire, wind, and void. This structure reflects Musashi's holistic view of strategy, encompassing both the physical and metaphysical aspects of conflict and life. The Earth Scroll lays the foundation, emphasizing the importance of knowing oneself and one's environment. Musashi writes, "If you do not look at things on a large scale, it will be difficult for you to master strategy." This principle extends far beyond the battlefield, encouraging a broad perspective in all endeavors. In the Water Scroll, Musashi stresses adaptability. "You must make your way through the enemy's lines as if moving through water," he advises. This fluidity of approach, this ability to conform to any situation, is as relevant in modern boardrooms as it was in ancient duels. The Fire Scroll delves into the heat of battle, discussing timing and the spirit of attack. Musashi emphasizes the importance of decisive action, stating, "When you decide to attack, keep calm and dash in quickly, forestalling the enemy. Attack with a feeling of constantly crushing the enemy." Wind represents traditions and styles in martial arts, but Musashi uses this scroll to warn against becoming too attached to any one method. He advocates for understanding various approaches but not being bound by them, a lesson in open-mindedness that resonates across disciplines. The final scroll, Void, is perhaps the most enigmatic. It speaks to the state of detachment and clear perception that Musashi saw as essential for true mastery. This concept of no mind, or mushin, is a cornerstone of Zen philosophy, representing a state of mental clarity and immediate awareness. Throughout the Book of Five Rings, Musashi emphasizes principles that transcend swordsmanship. He speaks of the importance of continuous learning, of seeing things as they truly are, rather than how we wish them to be, and of the need for both detailed study and broad understanding. Consider how these teachings might apply to your own life. How can you, like Musashi, maintain adaptability in the face of challenges? How can you cultivate a state of no mind to perceive situations more clearly? Musashi's philosophical work is not just a relic of the past, but a living document that continues to influence fields as diverse as business, sports, and personal development. It stands as a testament to the universal nature of strategic thinking and the timeless wisdom of a true master. As we reflect on Musashi's teachings, we begin to understand how a swordsman from feudal Japan could leave such an indelible mark on world culture. But the full extent of his legacy extends far beyond his writings, shaping Japanese culture and global perceptions of the samurai ideal. Myths and truths of Miyamoto Musashi. As with any legendary figure, the line between fact and fiction in Musashi's life has often blurred over the centuries. Let's peel back the layers of myth to uncover the truths and misconceptions about this iconic swordsman. One of the most persistent myths about Musashi is that he never lost a duel. While it's true that he was undefeated in his recorded duels, the reality is more nuanced. Musashi himself admitted to a period of setbacks in his youth, writing, "When I reached 30, I looked back on my past. The previous victories were not due to my having mastered strategy." This admission reveals a truth often overshadowed by the legend. Musashi was not an invincible superhuman, but a dedicated practitioner who learned from his mistakes and constantly refined his skills. Another common misconception is that Musashi was a lone wolf, a solitary wanderer who shunned all companionship. In truth, while he did spend much of his life traveling, Musashi had significant relationships and even adopted a son. He served various lords throughout his life, showing that he wasn't entirely detached from society. One of the more fanciful myths claims that Musashi could fight with his feet as well as his hands, wielding a sword with each limb. While this makes for an exciting tale, it's purely fictional. Musashi's true innovation was his two-sword style, which was revolutionary enough without adding improbable acrobatics. A persistent legend states that Musashi never bathed or changed his clothes, believing that an opponent might attack during these vulnerable moments. While Musashi was known for his unconventional appearance, this extreme level of hygiene neglect is likely an exaggeration. It's more probable that he simply prioritized constant vigilance over societal norms of appearance. One truth that's often overlooked is Musashi's artistic talent. Many assume his focus on martial arts left no room for other pursuits, but Musashi was a skilled painter and calligrapher. His works, particularly his ink paintings, are considered masterpieces of the Edo period. A myth that's gained traction in popular culture is that Musashi was a towering muscular figure. In reality, historical accounts describe him as rather average in height and build. His prowess came not from physical dominance, but from skill, strategy, and an indomitable spirit. Some tales claim Musashi could see the future or had supernatural abilities. While these stories add to his mystique, they detract from his true accomplishment, achieving mastery through relentless practice and keen observation. Musashi's real power was his ability to read opponents and situations with uncanny accuracy. One truth that's often misunderstood is Musashi's relationship with the sword. While he's remembered primarily as a swordsman, Musashi advocated for proficiency in all weapons. He even wrote, "You should not have a favorite weapon. To become overfamiliar with one weapon is as much a fault as not knowing it sufficiently well." As we sift through these myths and truths, we gain a more nuanced understanding of Musashi. He wasn't a mythical, unbeatable warrior, but a man who dedicated his life to perfecting his art and understanding the deeper principles of strategy and combat. This more human Musashi, with his flaws, struggles, and continuous self-improvement, offers us perhaps the most valuable lesson of all. It reminds us that greatness isn't about being perfect or superhuman, but about persistent effort, learning from failures, and constantly striving to better oneself. As we peel away the layers of myth, the true Musashi emerges, a complex, multifaceted individual whose life and teachings continue to resonate across centuries. This more authentic portrait sets the stage for understanding Musashi's profound and lasting impact on Japanese culture and beyond. Legacy and impact on Japanese culture. The echo of Musashi's life reverberates through the centuries, shaping Japanese culture in ways both subtle and profound. His influence extends far beyond the realm of martial arts, permeating literature, art, philosophy, and even modern business practices. In the world of martial arts, Musashi's legacy is unmistakable. His Niten Ichi-ryu school of swordsmanship continues to this day, with practitioners dedicated to preserving and understanding his unique two-sword style. But more than just a set of techniques, Musashi's approach to combat as a means of self-discovery and personal growth has influenced martial artists across various disciplines. Musashi's impact on Japanese literature is equally significant. The Book of Five Rings stands alongside Sun Tzu's The Art of War as one of the most influential treatises on strategy ever written. Its principles have been applied far beyond the battlefield, informing approaches to business, politics, and personal development. But Musashi's literary influence doesn't end there. His life story has inspired countless works of fiction, from Eiji Yoshikawa's epic novel Musashi to numerous manga and anime series. These popular retellings have kept Musashi's legend alive, introducing new generations to his philosophy and exploits. In the realm of visual arts, Musashi's own paintings and calligraphy are highly prized. His style, characterized by bold, minimalist strokes, reflects the same principles of directness and efficiency that defined his swordsmanship. Today, his works are considered national treasures in Japan, bridging the worlds of martial and fine arts. Musashi's philosophy has also left an indelible mark on Japanese business culture. Many corporate leaders in Japan study the Book of Five Rings, applying its strategic principles to modern commerce. The concepts of adaptability, clear perception, and decisive action resonate strongly in the competitive world of international business. In popular culture, Musashi has become the archetypal samurai, embodying the ideals of Bushido, the way of the warrior. His image as a wandering swordsman, seeking perfection through combat and contemplation, has shaped global perceptions of samurai culture. Films, television series, and video games frequently draw inspiration from his life and legend. Perhaps most profoundly, Musashi's emphasis on continuous self-improvement and the pursuit of mastery in all aspects of life has become deeply ingrained in Japanese culture. This ethos of constant refinement, or kaizen, is evident in everything from traditional arts to modern manufacturing processes. Musashi's legacy also extends to the realm of psychology and personal development. His teachings on strategy, mindfulness, and the importance of understanding both oneself and one's opponent have found new relevance in fields like sports psychology and conflict resolution. Even in education, Musashi's influence can be felt. His holistic approach to learning, emphasizing the interconnectedness of different disciplines, resonates with modern pedagogical theories that stress interdisciplinary education and the development of well-rounded individuals. As we reflect on Musashi's far-reaching impact, we're compelled to consider our own legacies. How can we, like Musashi, strive for excellence in our chosen fields while also seeking to understand the broader principles that underlie success? How can we apply his teachings to navigate the complexities of our modern world? Musashi's enduring legacy serves as a testament to the universal and timeless nature of his insights. From the feudal battlefields of 17th century Japan to the corporate boardrooms and dojos of today, his wisdom continues to guide those seeking to master the art of strategy, both in combat and in life. As we conclude our exploration of Musashi's legacy, we're left with a profound appreciation for how one individual's pursuit of excellence can ripple across time, shaping culture and inspiring generations. But the true power of Musashi's legacy lies not just in admiration but in application. How will you apply these ancient wisdom to your modern battles? Lessons for modern life. As we draw our journey through the life and legacy of Miyamoto Musashi to a close, let's reflect on the timeless wisdom this legendary swordsman offers to us, centuries later, in our fast-paced digital age. 1. Embrace continuous learning. Musashi's life was a testament to the power of lifelong learning. From his first duel at 13 to his final writings at 60, he never stopped honing his skills and expanding his understanding. In our rapidly evolving world, this principle is more crucial than ever. Whether you're a business professional, an artist, or a student, cultivating a mindset of continuous improvement can keep you adaptable and relevant. 2. Master the art of adaptability. Musashi's two-sword style was revolutionary, demonstrating his ability to think outside conventional norms. In today's world of rapid technological and social change, adaptability is a crucial skill. Like Musashi, we must be willing to challenge established methods and find innovative solutions to new problems. 3. Understand the bigger picture. In The Book of Five Rings, Musashi emphasizes the importance of understanding both detail and context. In our information-rich era, the ability to see both the forest and the trees is invaluable. Whether you're tackling a complex project at work or navigating personal relationships, cultivating this dual perspective can lead to more effective strategies and decisions. 4. Cultivate mindfulness. Musashi's concept of no mind in the Book of Void speaks to a state of mental clarity and immediate awareness. In our distraction-filled world, the ability to maintain focus and be present is more valuable than ever. Practicing mindfulness can enhance decision-making, reduce stress, and improve overall well-being. 5. Balance specialization with versatility. While Musashi was a master swordsman, he also excelled in other arts like painting and calligraphy. In today's job market, being a specialist with some generalist skills, a T-shaped professional, is highly valued. Developing expertise. 6. Embrace simplicity. Musashi advocated for directness and simplicity in combat, a principle that extends well beyond the battlefield. In a world of increasing complexity, the ability to simplify problems, communicate clearly, and act decisively is a powerful skill. Ginos. Learn from failure. Musashi acknowledged his early setbacks and learned from them. In our success-oriented culture, it's crucial to remember that failure is often the best teacher. Embracing failures as learning opportunities can lead to greater resilience and ultimate success. Maintain physical and mental balance. Musashi understood the interconnection between physical prowess and mental acuity. In our often sedentary, screen-dominated lives, maintaining this balance is crucial for overall well-being and peak performance. As we conclude our exploration of Miyamoto Musashi's life and teachings, remember that the true power of his wisdom lies not in mere knowledge, but in application. Each of us faces our own battles, our own challenges in life. Like Musashi, we have the opportunity to approach these challenges with strategy, adaptability, and a commitment to continuous improvement. What aspect of Musashi's philosophy resonates most with you? How will you apply these ancient insights to your modern life? The path of the warrior isn't just about combat. It's about facing life's challenges with courage, wisdom, and an unwavering commitment to self-improvement. As you go forth from here, carry with you the spirit of Musashi. Face your challenges head-on, adapt to changing circumstances, and never stop seeking to improve yourself. In doing so, you honor not just the legacy of a legendary swordsman, but your own potential for greatness. As we close the book on Miyamoto Musashi's extraordinary life, we're left with a challenge. How will you wield the sword of his wisdom in your own battles? Musashi's journey from a brash young duelist to a philosophical master wasn't just about swordsmanship. It was about forging an unbeatable spirit, one that could face any challenge with clarity and purpose. What mountains in your life seem unconquerable? What if, like Musashi, you approached them not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth? Consider this. In 1281, the mighty Mongol Empire, which had conquered vast swaths of Asia and Europe, set its sights on Japan. The island nation, seemingly outmatched, faced an invading force of over 140,000 men. But much like Musashi facing a superior opponent, the Japanese used strategy, determination, and a bit of fortune, in the form of a typhoon known as the Divine Wind, or kamikaze, to repel the invasion. This pivotal moment shaped Japan's sense of divine protection and national identity for centuries to come. Intrigued by this fascinating period? Our video, Ancient Japan from Isolation to Empire, delves deeper into this era and its lasting impact. You'll find it appearing on your screen now. Now, I challenge you. Take one principle from Musashi's life and apply it this week. Perhaps it's approaching a problem from an unconventional angle, or maybe it's taking time to see the bigger picture in a situation you're facing. Share your experiences in the comments below. Your insight might be the spark that ignites someone else's transformation. What other historical figures would you like us to explore? What battles are you fighting that could benefit from ancient wisdom? Let us know in the comments. Your ideas shape the content we create. If you found value in this journey through time and philosophy, consider supporting our channel. Subscribe to join our community of modern-day warriors, seeking wisdom from the past to conquer the challenges of today. And if you're able and inclined, a small donation goes a long way in helping us continue bringing you these deep dives into history and their lessons for today. Remember, 2 more videos are waiting for you on the screen. Each one is a new opportunity to arm yourself with knowledge and inspiration. As Musashi said, you must understand that there is more than one path to the top of the mountain. Your path to greatness is unique, but it begins with a single step. What will your first step be? Until next time, keep your mind sharp and your spirit unbreakable. The way of the warrior awaits.